What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Phillies lose again. Let's talk about it.
Let's go! This ain't the fuck like this game, he stinks!
Oh shit!
It's gone!
Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Welcome in, everybody. What a time to be a Philadelphia Phillies fan. This is the A2D Radio Phillies postgame show that sweeps Jimmy. I'm Tom, and we're always brought to you by FanUp, and FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily NBA contests, and more. Win great prizes. Sign up today. Use our promo code A2D for 5,000 bonus points. That's a $50 value. FanUp, you can find them right on the Apple Store, and not only NBA contests, MLB contests as well. We'll do our comments of the night. Didn't mean to hit that button. That's fun. I'm just like the Phillies, so let's get in my own way. We'll do comments of the night later on. Loser of the game, winners of the game, if there is anybody, and our gut reactions. And we'll get right into our gut reactions. And make sure you're chiming in, letting us know how you feel right now. It's tough. It is tough. Losers are 7-8, 8 out of 10. Not a good start to your season. Not a good start, and that's being nice. That is being extremely nice. Our gut reaction is brought to you by Manscaped. You can get 20% off and free shipping with the code A2D at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. It's time to throw out your old hygiene habits and upgrade your life. Gut reactions? This is fun. You know what I mean? You stay up late and you're like, yeah, maybe we'll get it done. Maybe we'll get it done and feel good about ourselves, a little better. Maybe we can still win a series. This is dreadful. This is disgusting. All right? And I hate being lied to. Right? Like DeMarco Murray lied to me. The Dream Team lied to me. There's been teams that have lied to me through my time of watching Philly sports. And it's extremely early. We're 12 games in. But also we all got eyes. Okay, we got eyes on what we're watching right now. And what we're watching is a lie. That's what it is. That's what it feels like. Right? Because the first, let's say, 4 games of your season, you looked like a team that was like, okay, this is who we thought they were going to be. A really good baseball team. That's what it looked like. And then you go to Miami and now in Colorado and against 2 teams that aren't, let's be real, they're Miami stinks.
They're not tough teams.
And Colorado's tough. Okay? Miami stinks and Colorado's going to be tough, especially in Colorado. We know that. Okay, we know that. But this team just finds ways to lose games now over these 8 games, right? They just found ways to lose. And when we lose 8 to 10, 7-8, you just find ways to lose games. That's not the kind of start we were looking for here. All right, and you can't lose it, but you can't win a division in April, but you sure as hell can lose it. Okay, and you get yourself too far behind the 8 ball. Now, we talked about it, me and Sweet, before we came on, right? We were just talking about hey, this team's going to hit it at some point. They're going to hit. They're going to get hot. Okay, but you got good teams and losing streaks. Good teams don't let it continue to carry over. And any bit of momentum that this baseball team sees throughout games, if at all, they lose it extremely quick. All right, and I'm watching bad at bats. I'm watching the first 2 times through, they're grinding. Right, they're making them work, and then all of a sudden they start swinging out of their shoes. All of a sudden there's no discipline. There's no approach. And listen, I'm a guy sitting home watching that TV. I'm not trying to hit 98. I get it. But they're pros. and it's about approaches, and it's about, maybe being unselfish at times, even if you're not trying to be selfish. Okay, because Castellanos said it the other night. Hey, it seems like a bunch of guys are just trying to hit home runs. Well, that's not a good sign. When the guy you just gave big money to is saying that, looks like guys are getting a little ahead of themselves here instead of just trying to barrel up, right? Guys are trying to hit balls 420. I don't like that. I don't like that as an early tell. That's an early tell. Now I hear that, and I'm like, whoa. It takes a lot for a guy to say that because he knows he's going to hear about it, right? So it takes a lot for a guy to say, hey, I feel like and I'm not saying he's perfect. I'm just making a point, right? That's one of your leaders. So he's saying that already. So this team needs to get together. They need to figure it out. And you like we talked about in Miami series, I mean, you're in must-win territory now. And I know it's extremely early, but you're in must-win, rattle some off territory. Like, not just win a game. Like, you need to you got to go take 3 or 4 somehow. You got to be winners of 3 or 4 out of 5. You got to get into that kind of stretch to make yourselves feel better. And I believe this team still can. But if you held a gun to my head, right, and told me over under 86 now, I'm going under in my head. I would probably, if you put a gun in my head, say under. And I'm a guy who thought they can win 92. And I still do. I still believe it's there, right? But paper doesn't play. Right? We all know that. What's on paper doesn't play. It can all look great, and sometimes it doesn't come together. And it would be typical us. It would be extremely typical of us to not come together. So that's all my gut reactions are, is I feel like I've been lied to a little bit. And again, plenty of time to make it up. I don't want to be that guy because I'm going to watch every night. Okay? But again, gun to my head, I'm worried. Somebody talk me off the ledge because I'm worried. What do I got to hang my hat on? Finding a way to lose a game every night? What positives am I seeing? I'm seeing a team come back tonight, take a lead. That's a big response, right? And then the next opportunity they have, somebody doesn't make a pitch. Somebody doesn't miss a barrel. Okay, and then it's like the little things, right? The whole Kyle Gibson thing starts off by the shift. Right? You got to run on first, that double play ball by Kris Bryant. Boom, you're out of an inning. You're feeling delicious, right? And you don't even need the Schwarber bomb yet to take the lead. So they find ways that if it's the coaching staff, okay, whoever, is the players, everybody's finding ways to help lose baseball games right now. And that's what happens when you're losing 7-8 and 8 out of 10. So I need somebody to talk me off the ledge that this baseball team can find it, because I'm not seeing the leadership, because you don't lose 7-8 if there's a ton of leadership. Like somebody does something. I don't know. Baseball's weird. Like, it's an individual sport, but it's the greatest team sport there is, right? Because you need a lot of guys to make things work. You need a lot of guys to buy in to make things work when you talk about the game of baseball. Okay? One guy is not going to carry you for 162. It's facts. So I don't know, guys. I mean, the Mets look really good, and we don't. And again, you got a lot of time to figure it out, but you better start ASAP.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I feel like, I'm sure there's, they've had other, I'm sure they've had plenty of quality at bats, but my eyes tell me that they really haven't, except for that Mets comeback in the 8th inning. That was a string of, hey man, you turn the faucet on. That felt like a July game, hitting season. The faucet turned on, and it was 5 straight doubles, and it was, really good at bats, and the kind of pressure that you expect from this lineup. Other than that, I haven't really seen it. You might have individual glimpses, right? But you haven't had, a cohesive, lineup, or, a cohesive group where, grinding out at bats, and just like, just tonight, for example, like on the other side, we know that the guy missed a call, but that's a great at bat by Charlie Blackmon, who's not Charlie Blackmon anymore, right? Except for the beard. Right? He's not. He's lost about 10 steps, right? But he came back from 0-2. All right, listen, I understand it was a strike. I was watching the game, but guy grinds out a fucking 2-out walk, and then then Kris Bryant bounces one off the fucking plate, all right, and then it's time to go get Sir Anthony, and we know what Familia does. It's you're gonna leave the splitter up, and it's gonna get hit the downtown Colorado. I just listen. I hold Joe accountable for players' play, but I don't like the shit Joe's doing, and I haven't for a while. 12 different lineups. 12 games, 12 different lineups. Sometimes guys got to settle into some spots too. I got news for you, Joe. It's juggle central. And why is fucking Sir Anthony up in the 5th and the 6th, right? That was his answer to when he had to go get him right there with 25 pitches. The guy coming off Tommy John, he was up in the 5th and 6th. What the fuck's he up in the 5th and 6th for? Right? If you're going to bring him into the game, he warms up to the spot you're going to bring him in. He to me, Sir Anthony, coming off Tommy John, to your point there, Joe, why the fuck would he be your long guy? Why the fuck is he warming up in the 5th and 6th? He ain't your fucking long guy. Guy's got electric shit. He should be in the spot that he was in. Right? Let him finish. Right? Like I said, a guy blew a strikeout call and a chopper off the plate. Give him an opportunity to go get Chrome.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. That's no confidence. The guy he could throw 1,000 pitches in the bullpen before he comes into the game, right? And these guys don't count those numbers. Like nobody's ever counting those numbers with their clicker. Might want to click those off, all right? Because there's 50 right there. I feel like he threw in 2 innings, and then you want to talk to me in the presser about Tommy John. And what I don't want to get into with Joe's, I don't even like Joe. Right, I seen enough of him too. I would have fired him when he put out the 10th lineup. Okay, But we fired another guy here, right? And at some point, the players got to come play.
Wow, absolutely. But like I said,
you don't agree with that. Too.
Like I said, certainly, the guy that's, like I said, it's always the guy driving the ship has to take responsibility. You know what I mean? And I've never seen that since he's been here. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe he does. I don't know. It's just, things he does are head scratching as well. You know what I mean? Like, I know that Matt Verling's not an all-star. He's a fucking young kid, and he's not fucking tearing the cover off the ball. But he's got 2 hits. He's got 2 hits on the night, and you're going to run him up because it's righty-righty. You're going to run Stott up there. Stott's 0 for 17, over his last 17. Verling can run into one. Like, I didn't understand that. A lot of things are leaving me fucking, leaving me scratching my fucking head. And like I said, at the end of the day, players will play, you know what I mean? But this is the one sport, like not quite X's and O's, like football. But, you got your hand on, you got your finger on the fucking trigger as a manager, right? You can fucking create some pressure. You can, with your pen moves and what you decide to do with your lineup and what you decide to do situationally. You know what I mean? We know the Phillies don't run well, but they'll never start a runner. God forbid they start a fucking runner. Can we get a first and third? Can we hit a ball fucking away from the shift one time? I mean, it's like, the 6th, 7th, and 8th all ended in double play balls. You know what I mean? Like, maybe after the 6th and 7th, maybe we can start a runner. Can we start a runner? I don't know. Fuck, dude. I understand the game has, it isn't there anymore. It's not in the 80s anymore where I grew up. You know what I mean? But it doesn't mean you necessarily have to hit and run, but you can start a runner. You know what I mean? Like, how about a run and hit? You know what I mean? Like, you start a guy and then fucking, hey, listen, you got a green light here. Let's go get something you can fucking turn around.
Couldn't agree more.
But bottom line, you guys hit the nail right on the head with your Girardi. It's just a bunch of bullshit. I was out on game 3 when the lineup came out, when you benched JT. I know it's a night into day type of game, but JT's making over $100 million. Put him in the DH spot, slide Bryce to center field. Just sweep the ace. Like, everything went downhill after that 3rd game. Because after, like, if you come out sweeping a series to open up the season, I feel like it goes a long way, especially with the first month of baseball, which is April. And look, they are 4-8. I feel like they need to get to at least 500 by the end of April. I mean, they got 9 games left, I believe. It's definitely feasible to get them to 500 before May comes around. And like you said, Tom, like it would look a lot better if they could just get up to 500 going into May, especially with the 2 home stands coming up. When it comes to just Girardi and his lineups, I mean, are we really missing Mickey Moniak this bad? But I mean, everything went to shit when Moniak got hurt the day before opening day, and you haven't had a center field. You haven't had a center fielder. Vierling is what he is. I know he had 2 hits today. Definitely should have kept him in. I was out on the Stott pinch hit. That was just absolutely atrocious. But when it comes to just the players in general, like, they're not getting timely base hits. I mean, I feel like that is the biggest downfall to this team over these past 2 series, and your past 3 series, if you include this one, Miami and the Mets. They just haven't hit the baseball. I mean, those first 2 games, they were slapping baseballs into space. And right now, like Castellanos said, like everybody's trying to hit a home run. They're not working up counts. I mean, they worked up for Freeland today, but at the end of the day, how many earned runs did he allow? 2.
Yeah, it's feast and famine, and I think we have 11 homers as a team, right? And I believe 3 of them came with runners on base.
Yeah,
a lot of solos.
I mean, same shit, different year, you know.
Just like I thought the key thing you said. You said a lot of good points, but go back to the first thing you said was, in the A series, game 3 of the fucking year. I don't want to hear about day-night stuff, and that's what they do with catchers. I get that. He's fine. He's fucking fine. You're getting paid a lot of money. You can fucking come back. All right. I can show you fucking, Yadi Molina. He was, fucking 50 years old, fucking catches all the time. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you get to fucking be great.
And the consistency aspect that you said, it's insane.
100, I understand the day-night thing. Absolutely. Game 100, it's fucking, it's fucking June. It's fucking July, and it's fucking 100 degrees out. Absolutely. All right. But you have the universal DH. Right. So that's what you were alluding to as well. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to just sit anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you can get the night off to rest the knees. Right. You can get the day game to rest the knees, but you can still get in there and fucking hit, man.
Yeah. I mean, the 12 lineups in 12 days, I've never even heard of it before. I've never even thought that a manager can do this to open up the season. Like I don't know the stat on it, but just the lack of inconsistency from 1 to 9, night in and night out. But like, if you're Bryce Harper, what are you thinking? If you're Castellanos, if you're Schwarber, what are you thinking? Because Schwarber's been through October, year in and year out, and then he comes to this shit show. But like, if I'm Kyle Schwarber and this remains, I'll trade. That's what I'm requesting. Come July 15th, if it's and I know it's not going to stick around. I don't want to overreact, but I just need to see a consistent lineup, and I see nothing special in Joe Girardi. We're in game. Over 220 games managed by Joe Girardi now. Over close to 240 now. Like, I've seen enough. Like, you can complain, you can bitch and moan about the bullpen all you want, but you have a different lineup, and now 15 games in, you're doing the same exact shit with a better bullpen and a better lineup. And I know we can put it on the players all we want, but I just feel like A, he leaves them unmotivated. B, he just lets them do whatever he wants. I just feel like he's too wrapped up in the new age of baseball with looking into the notebook here and there. Like Citizens Bank Park, he's locked in that desk chair, just staring down at the notebook. And I'm just sick of it. I want him to be like both of you are baseball managers. Are you just looking at a notebook? 7 innings in the game, not 8 innings in the game, however many innings you play. Do you have your nose up in the folder?
I think you have the answer for me in terms of a notebook. I think with sweeps, I think you would have the same thing. I mean, listen.
You can't even spell analytics. I can't even spell analytics. You know what I mean? But I've said before that there's a little bit of place for it. I get that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a dinosaur. So, I mean, I can evolve a little bit. You know what I mean? It's just, but I've always said you find the balance. You know what I mean? You got to find the balance. All right. Yeah. But plenty of these guys, like I said, and it's in all these, professional sports. All right. And it's, we see it all the time. And that's what aggravates us. Right. Right, it's retread after retread after retread in all the 4 majors, right? Because they've been in it. This guy, he was a fucking manager before. This guy was a coach before. We gotta fuck that, man. Give me some. I don't want to hear that shit. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't good. He wasn't good with the Yankees. Listen, the whole, we couldn't get Kepler out of here fast enough. You know what I mean? And I fucking hate Kepler. So, and the guy's fucking shoving right now in fucking Giant Land. You know what I mean? But this is what Girardi did in New York. You know what I mean? Like, with all that fucking money and all that fucking payroll, that's what he did there. You know what I mean? He wore out his welcome there too. So, and it's not, and he ain't doing himself any justice here.
Yeah, it seems like he needs a legitimate all-star in every single position to succeed. I mean, that's what happened in 2009, right?
But listen, there's too many. I don't care about Joe Girardi one bit. Right, not telling you that Joe Girardi shouldn't get fired at some point. Right, I don't care enough. What I do care enough about is there's a lot of veterans sprinkled all over this baseball team. Okay, this kind of shit is unacceptable. So as much as and grown men veterans too. So as much as like his decision making and stuff like that is big time questionable, especially when it doesn't go right. Right? It's easy when it doesn't go right. So
Listen, we always talk about roasting guys. You know what I mean? And I said it last night. I know everybody loves him. The hair is great. He's the MVP. But like, and that spring was cute. You know what I mean? The spring's over, buddy. It's time. It's time to hit, fucking Bryce. You know what I mean? But let's say I'm not saying he's got to do everything. But we're talking about having better at bats. Last night you're down 4-1 in the ninth. He swings at the first pitch and rolls over. Can't have it, bud. If you're going to swing at the first pitch, it's got to be hit to fucking downtown Colorado, right? Or you try to grind out a bat. You're a guy that walks all the time, right? So a leadoff walk there. I don't know how the at-bat's going to go. I'm just saying, if you grind down an at-bat, you get a leadoff walk, and that's how rallies start, right? You fucking swing at the first pitch, even if you hit it out, it's 4-2. You know what I mean? So, you accomplish nothing unless you have two guys in your back pocket. You accomplish nothing by swinging at the first pitch, and especially a first pitch rollover.
Well, how about this? In a game full of analytics, and the whole country knows that your numbers versus the fastballs are ridiculous as a team, okay? Their average versus a fastball is absurd. It's the best in baseball, right? So you can only imagine what their average is on stuff that spins, okay? Not good. No bueno. No bueno, all right? That's what that is. So the whole world knows it. So that even goes more into our conversation about, hunt the fastball then, right? Hunt the fastball, right? Because let guys throw you spinners all day. Make them throw for strikes too, okay? Make them throw for strikes. And what's happening is when you see a ton of double plays and you see a lot of strikeouts, it goes to tell you one thing, right? Everybody's trying to hit a ball 480. And if that's your approach, fine. But that's going to be a lot of feast or famine. And I don't have a lot of confidence in that through the year. Like, you're just not going to beat teams because you have 5 guys in your lineup that can hit 30. Like, what do you do? You still need timely hits. You still need guys who can drive in runs, maybe hit a few doubles too, right? It's more than just like the long ball. I know the whole league is like circle jerks the long ball, but it's more than just the long ball. Like, I need more than just that. So as much as I like the Schwarber signing, and I sure as heck love the Castellanos signing and what we already have here, but it is a lot of long ball or nothing. And that's what we're seeing. And then if you are hitting the long ball, great. Love the long ball. Right, but at the end of the day, if they're solo jacks, what do you do? Now it's like a wasted long ball to me in terms of a season that's so long, because guys aren't hitting 162, guys aren't hitting 100 home runs right by themselves. So you factor those numbers into everything, and you realize, okay, that's a wasted one. The guy hit one, we're down 11-1. Whoop-de-doo. There's one. Check. Right, because he's not going to get over 30, so 29 more left, right? And that's what's like sad about it. There's been no timely hits, Jimmy, to your point. I can't tell you how many runners they've left on base from the Miami series to this series. And it's one thing if you're playing upper echelon baseball teams and you start off 4-8, right? It's one thing for us to sit here and say, you know what, we get it. They're new. They're trying to gel together. Baseball is a team a sport that you got to have the guy behind his back and in front of his back, right? So I get all that, but you're playing Drek, okay? You're going back to places that you've been unsuccessful at, and you've actually said, hold my beer. So you've been totally unsuccessful in Miami since 2020. All you did coming back there this year, when you want to get that stench off of you, is said, hold this stank beer, all right? Then you go to Colorado, where you haven't played well as well since 2020. These are just factual things, right? No notepad with it either, right? That you haven't played well since 2020. This is why I'm concerned. This is why I'm thinking, did they win 80 games? Because you're going back to these places where you failed at, and you haven't shown me any response to that as a baseball team. That's the scary side. That's certain stuff that tells me the same old. All right, and we know we're not going to go out and make a big trade by the deadline to really like make us a contender per se if we're not one. All right, because then it's like, well, then he's not going to go spend more money. He's already over it. So you are what you are right now, and you better win with what you have. And I don't have a lot of confidence when you go back to places and it's trends, right? It's trends. And it's probably baseball. Like, we're just starting the season off, so we want to see something different. And ever since that 5-run inning against New York, which I did a video saying that should springboard your season. That's the type of win that should springboard your season. Oh. They won one game since. One game.
And it wasn't on TV. And it was in Miami when there was 2,000 people in the stands.
Left on base would have been monstrous tonight had it been for the 4 double play balls. I mean, so I think it was 5, but like you take away the 4 double play balls, now you're approaching, you're anywhere from 8 to 9 to 10, left, leaving guys on base. So,
PJ, completely agree with you, brother. Completely agree. All right, let's get into our winners of the game. Winners of the game brought to you by BetUS. BetUS is a leading online sports book. They've been in the market for over 25 years. You can bet anywhere in the U.S. on everything. Use the link right in our pinned in our comment section over on YouTube and our description on Facebook. And if you use that link, get 125% sign up bonus. Go win some money. Do it. Winner of the game. I'm gonna go Kyle Gibson because I thought that there was a point where I think we all thought he was coming out and he battled. Right, and he battled and he gave us a chance in a place that's not a pitcher's ballpark. We know that, right? And against a lineup that I think is pretty good. Honestly, I think it's a pretty good line, especially when you have Bryant in there. Makes you a pretty good lineup with what you have. Not a great one, but a good one. Okay, but I thought he did a good job of rebounding for 2 innings after he struggled, right, and getting us through 6. But if I had to pick a winner, that's my winner. And I don't want to keep saying there's a couple other guys I maybe could give some winners to in terms of the Phillies, but he's my winner because at that point of the game, I thought we were really battling, right? And I liked the kind of battle we were showing and the toughness we were showing in that game. The not only have a lead, lose a lead, get a lead back, right, and then Gibson gets you through. I thought that was important for us. So it is what it is. That's who I would give a game ball to if I had to.
Phillies are in general.
You can do whatever you want. I'll just stay with Phillies. Try to find some.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go with Camargo. I mean, he stepped right in. He's been playing tremendous defense all year. He's probably been our best player overall, and that includes Bryce Harper. He's just doing all the little things that I wish we had. Maybe 2 other Camargos that could play the field.
And he hits tonight too. He playing him up, and he fucking drilled that line drive his last at bat too.
Yeah, I was just about to say. I mean, he stepped right in for Didi, 2 singles. Both were timely hits. I mean, both hits. That was during innings where we scored. So I think somebody said it earlier. They would like to see Camargo play every day, and I don't see how you can't. But it's just another sign of just the inconsistency of Joe Girardi. And I know, Tom, you don't want to harp on Girardi, but I mean, it is what it is.
No, Jimmy, he's the wild guys. He needs the wild guys to get in the rhythm. I couldn't agree more.
But he's totally screwed it over with the sense that there's no sense of comfort in this lineup.
I don't change my lineup for travel ball. I mean, my goodness, I don't even change my lineup for travel ball. It is what we're gonna keep it consistent. Guys know where they're at. Let's go barrel up, and if you're on fire, then you can get moved up. Right. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. So you go with what you think your best thing is, and you're going to allow that to play out. Now, for instance, in travel ball, we play, I think, 12 tournaments. So if we're through six, and we're not living up to where I think we should be in spots, then you move and shake. It's the same thing here, essentially. Give it a month and a half. Right. And then and if it smacks you in the face, or give it a month. You don't even got to give it a month and a half. Give it a month. Let guys settle in. And then you start to understand, right? He's treating it like spring training. I mean, I don't want to harp on the guy either. He's treating it like spring training. We're just, we're just going to put a bunch of Post-it notes up, and then we're going to close our eyes, and we're going to pick them off. We're just going to pick them off. And this is who's batting where. It's a joke. It's a disgrace, and I hate it. This is what made me want to run Capo out of town. And, Joe, you can follow, babe. I don't know if you like coconut oil. I don't know if you spit out your ice cream, nor do I give a rat's ass. But what I got a problem with, and I'll harp on that more than any decision, because decision-making's easy to second guess, okay? Like, I wouldn't have brought Familia in right there when he came running in. I said, here's a 3-run homer. Like, I smelled it, okay? But that's just me, right? But I would have let Sir Anthony in. But I don't want to harp on those things too much, because if the guy makes one good pitch, maybe he's out of the inning, right? Maybe. What I'm going to harp on is the lineup bullshit. I'll harp on that. I'll die on that hill. I always die on that hill.
Yeah. I mean, so tomorrow, and just one last quick point on Girardi, and then I'll get your winter sweeps.
College guys don't have this many lineups.
I mean, we're talking 12 lineups in 12 days, but I bet you tomorrow Segura's not going to be in the leadoff spot. So that's going to be 4 different leadoff hitters in 13 games. to start the season. That is absolutely just it's horrible. It's terrible.
Go like Kevin Long. Who's the hitting coach? Kevin Long.
Yeah.
Go with Kevin. Kevin can lead off tomorrow. At this point, right? He probably got a better approach than these guys do because he's a great. Listen, I think he's a sensational hitting coach. He's Harper's guy, but the other side of it, these guys got to buy into him too, right? You know what I mean? Guys got to buy in. We thought early on they were because they were grinding at bats out. Through the first, like say, a week in a season, they were having good at bats. It was a positive thing, but again, recently it's gone by the wayside, and here we are. Sweeps, you got a winner?
Yeah, CJ Cron. I mean, that's obviously, a monster spot right there. Four stakes, and a monster 3-run homer. He grinded 2-2, fouled off a couple pitches, and got himself, a flat sinker up, flat splitter or whatever the fuck it was.
I think it was a slider.
And whatever the fuck it was, it stayed up. He got it. He didn't miss it. And
third best pitch, supposedly, too.
Yeah.
Third best pitch. A good decision there. Whoever called that pitch, good decision. Because I think Ricky Bosa in the postgame, like the slider hangs in Colorado. If you don't get on top of it, it will just hang up there more than any other ballpark. So why is he throwing his third best pitch in a spot? Right, it goes back to the decision making. Like in a spot like that, like go to your best pitch. Like I don't understand. Pitchers can't get out of their own goddamn ways either.
Yeah,
go to your best shit.
Absolutely, but yeah.
Your career should die on your best shit, like on the mound. Like if I was a pitcher, my shit, I would die with my best pitch. What got me here? What got me to the level I'm at? Good, I'm gonna die with that one. Not saying I'm not gonna throw other pitches, but I'm gonna die on that one. Freaking losers. The whole game's becoming losers. Whole game's gonna be going like we gotta throw this in this spot. The guy doesn't hit a slider well. Like, no, dude, that's his third best pitch, which maybe can make him hit a slider well. Right? Cron doesn't. Like, that's his third best pitch. So if he hangs one, everybody hits a fucking slider at the time. Damn it. Yeah. Damn it. Throw the sinker, throw the fastball. His fastball moves. All these guys' fastballs move. Nobody can throw a fastball for a strike anymore. This game's a joke. Major League Baseball's becoming a joke. All right, it used to be locate your fastball, then go to your other shit. Now it's all like spin rate, and you just spin it up there. Okay, cool. And with spin rate comes spinning right in the barrels all day, too. So you get a lot of strikeouts.
Absolutely. I mean, that's,
we could do a whole show on Haiti.
Yeah, in the middle, absolutely in the middle of the plate, and back to what Jimmy mentioned earlier about timely hits. I mean, that's ain't nothing more timely than a 3-run homer.
and the one thing I've noticed from this Phillies team,
the bottom of the seventh, with a 2-out 3-run homer in the bottom of the seventh. You know what I mean? So, when it rains, it pours. Whatever else you want to say, it is what it is, and it's just it's a lot of bad baseball on both sides. You know what I mean? Pitch execution, pitch selection, at bats, just managerial stuff. It's been top to bottom. It's been soup to nuts in these 12 games. So we'll see. You know what I mean? You gotta do whatever you can. You gotta treat tomorrow, to me, almost like Game 7 in the World Series. You know what I mean? You gotta win. You gotta find a way to get a win. Get out of town, want to win. The Brewers are coming to town. They're fantastic. I mean, it don't get any easier. Then you got the Rockies and Mets after that. You know what I mean? And obviously, Rockies play better at home. I get that, but if the Rockies find a way to sweep you, and then you got the Brewers in town, it's just, I mean, this thing could get ugly real quick, and it's not pretty right now at 4-8, but it could get off the rails real quick.
Tomorrow's a Game 7, and I would say that almost like the next 5 games become like, hey, need a 4 out of 5. Need a 4 out of 5. Not easy to do, but need a 4 out of 5.
You need to get to 500 before May. And if this team is not 500 come 5 weeks from now, that's when I'm firing Girardi. Just like that. I don't know. I don't know if you guys are thinking the same way, but come end of May and we're not 500, it's time to go.
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, there's too many pieces here. You know what I mean? Once you went over the luxury tax, and you not saying that taking Middleton off the hook, but once you sign Castellanos, you You put your best foot forward. I don't know what the fuck you waited for. You're still a fucking cigar chomping asshole. You know what I mean? Like, if you were going to do that anyway, why didn't you go fucking eat early on in free agency? You know what I mean? And find another arm and find somebody, find another piece. So that I'll never, what I mean? You know why? Because Harper said to him, "What the fuck you doing here, dude? You're wasting my time. You're wasting my shit." So, and that's, he finally caved in and signed Castellanos. So, to your point, yeah, absolutely, dude. That kind of underachievement this early in the season, yeah, absolutely, it's time to make a change. And you got the guy at third base that's got managerial experience, who was beloved in the minors, and obviously they made him a third base coach. But it might be time. Yeah, it might be time to see what the Dustman's got.
They do like him. I mean, players have said they really like them. I've talked to one player that really liked them. So I mean, there's one. But so we'll see where they go from there. Loser of the game, it's its entire baseball team. It's the leadership of this baseball team. It starts with it starts with the guys who drive the most expensive cars. It starts with the guys who are going to have the most expensive houses. Right? It starts with those guys. They become leaders. They become what everybody follows. That's as simple as that. That's common sense in all sports. Right? Everybody wants to be that guy. So how do these guys go about their business? I'm not saying guys don't go about their business the right way. I'm just saying if you don't, time to start going about your business the right way now. Okay? Time to start being unselfish at the plate. Time to start buying into, hey, you know what? I'm going to take what's given to me. If I don't like it, so what? Okay? And start having some red zones here. Right? Start having some red zones like MLB The Show. All right? Stay out of the cold. Stay out of the cold zones. Line up. Love some red zones. And we'll see. But I'm my losers this whole team. I mean, how not? Freaking losers a 7, 8 out of 10. Freaking joke. Oh, it's going to be different. You freaking sold me again, DeMarco Murray. I see you, DeMarco. Fucking asshole. Guy rushed for 2,500 yards, I felt like, just against us in 2 games the year before. Couldn't be stopped. Comes here. Guy can't even run anymore. Can't even run straight. It's a joke. And, right, we're doing reverses to him. It was a whole mess. I'm drinking smoothies. This is what this feels like. This is what it feels like. I heard the Castellanos interview. All I want to do was win. I freaking went I was 6 to the moon. 6 to the moon. Oh, I didn't even go to midnight. I went boom, moon. Guy just wants to win. Look at him. Fuck. Fuck. I hate bad baseball. It's been a decade. It's been a freaking decade in the top 5 market. It's unacceptable. Shit. Mickey, where are you? Mickey, spring training, where are you? We need some, I don't know. Guy looks thick. You know what I mean? Guy feels like he came back looking like freaking Bonds. It's as small as he was. He was like a freaking nail last year. He's like a nail. He's like a sausage link. Now he's like they got a little sausage link to him. I don't know. I'm upset, guys. So that's all. Here's my loser. Feel free to add on to that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna add on. You summed it up. You summed it up really great. I'm not gonna harp on Girardi anymore. I'm gonna make myself loser of the night because I continue to bet on this team, and I continue.
There's a guy that takes accountability. And take a page from Jimmy.
I continue to bet on them, and I continue to just lose money from them. I'm not. I think tomorrow maybe I'll go Rockies and Phillies will win. So maybe I'll do that, but.
Just don't touch it. Just don't touch it.
I can't because every single time I look at the lineup, I'm like, today's the day that they're going to cover the 1.5. And every single day they lose outright. I'm sick of it. Yeah, I might delete DraftKings right now.
I literally bet him the last 10 games. I can guarantee that. I'm right with you. 2-8. Sorry, our loser game is brought to you by Araya Public Adjusting. Do you have damage to your home or property? They may be able to help. Don't fight your homeowner's insurance alone. Contact our good friends at Araya Public Adjusting, 813-564-3364. Yep. Don't be a loser.
Yeah, don't be me.
That's great. Yeah, I'll be brief. It's Girardi. That's enough. You know, I mean, we talked about him and nauseam, but like he still had his handprint on this game. So, as much as we want to, as much as we're going to pass the baton to the guys that actually play. And they deserve fucking accountability. It's Joe still had some fucking smelly fish moves that I don't like. All right, and it might have cost you the ball game.
Yep, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. We talked about it. We thought Girardi would add 10 wins to what we had with Capper, and boy, were we wrong. Not saying he's the greatest manager around, just that he was a baseball guy.
Yeah.
I've been around it for a while. We were hoping for like the thing we got with Doc, right after Brett Brown. We got away from like we'll let you get away with stuff and have some accountability in the house, right? And which we did get with Doc because that's the reason Ben's not here because he's a pussy, right? So we got some accountability. Long story short, not crowning Doc. Just it's like the same thing though. Like it's a guy who's been around for a while. It's a guy who's won one, right? And you're like, oh, you know what? Like it's better than a guy who spits out ice cream.
Well, but to your point, like I said, that kind of stuff, and tremendous. I know what you're saying. Like, and that's exactly why we bought into it, because when you have veterans and you have guys you paid and you have stars, then to me, you need a guy like that, right? As opposed to the guy, with coconut oil. That's why, listen, people are going to eat that up, what's going on in San Francisco. It's because those young guys are hungry, right? Stars become stagnant because they got fucking money. They got contracts. They got all the fucking glory, right? Those guys in San Francisco, I'm not trying to fucking bring it back to Kepler. I'm just saying, like, don't get fooled by that fucking mirage out there too. Those guys are hungry. You don't have any fucking stars, right? They're doing it with fucking mirrors out there, right? And this season's still early. They did it with mirrors last year, and come playoff time, it was didn't hold up.
Absolutely. All right. Well, on to the next one, as they say. On to the next one. Phillies lost 6-5 to the Rockies tonight. They fall to 4-8. And like Sweeps brought up and completely agree with them, tomorrow's like a game 7. And you got to find a way to win a baseball game tomorrow. And listen, I'll continue to say it. I'll crush managers. I don't care. No, everybody's in the crosshairs. Nobody's not. And Sweeps is 100% spot on with like veterans and guys are getting a lot of money, become stagnant. Couldn't agree more. But then I'll circle back to those veterans again, and I'll talk to the leader of this baseball team. I'll talk to the guy who went up and knocked on a door and asked to go over the luxury tax, right? I'm going to talk to that guy because there's plenty. And people say, Tommy, you're a Harper hater. No, I'm not, dude. I'm a Phillies fan. I love Harper, okay? I love him. He likes A2D posts. How could I not love the guy? All right, but I like to think I call it how I see it sometimes too, or I call it how I sometimes read it. And when there's guys out there that bring up maybe not the best teammate, little things like that bothers me because I'm invested in Bryce for a long time. I'm invested in him for a long time. And I'm not saying that stuff's true. I'm not saying it's gospel. We always talk about smoke, there's fire. We always talk about that. That's concerning to me. That's been going back to his Washington days.
Well, then that's won the World Series a year after he left.
That's scary.
Could be coincidence. It could be they got hot at the right time. I don't know. But
scary.
I'm not on that train yet. I'm not
on his train. He's
conspiracy train, but it's not a good look. It's not a good look. Listen, he got choked out, and they fucking won the world, and his former team won the World Series after he left. Not two good looks right there.
No, not at all. And it's scary to me. And I don't think he's a bad teammate. I think some of those reports are bullshit too. I think there's plenty of guys around baseball that would love to play with them. I think you saw that with Schwarber and Castellanos coming here. Money helps, right? But one to play with them. So I'm not going to go that route. But I just named 2 veterans. I named one that was a winner. Right? JT's a veteran getting paid a lot of money. Okay, there's a ton of veterans. Segura's a veteran. Didi's a veteran. Okay, Bryce is a veteran. So this isn't just a Bryce Harper. I'm sniping him out the tree. I'm sniping them all. There's a lot of veterans on this baseball team. All right, and 7 out of 8 bullshit is unacceptable to me. And there's veterans in this rotation. There's veterans in this bullpen. The guys who have gotten outs in this league. So I don't want to hear it. It ain't the same fucking slop we ran out 3 years ago. This is not. This is a team that is supposed to win 90 games. On paper, supposed to win 90 games. At minimum. I don't care. Vegas has 86.5 to start the year. Yeah, because and people probably pound the over on that because it's a team that should win 90 games and see themselves as one of the 6 teams that get to go on and play postseason baseball that we have not had for over a decade. And if it doesn't happen this year, all right, we need to run John Middleton out of town then. Even though he went over the cap, we just got to figure something out. Yeah, I mean, even though we just got to figure something out, we got to run something out of town. I don't know what's left to run out, so we'll try it. But boys, great little post game here. Said on to tomorrow, big one tomorrow, and we got Sixers tomorrow night too. So stay tuned. A2D Wednesday nights. We'll give you Sixers live reactions as well as some Phillies live reactions if you're in the mood. If you're in the mood. For Sweeps, Jimmy, I'm Tom. All you out there, we appreciate all your comments, everything you guys bring to the table. We love it. You guys notice you drive the show. We try to keep post games a little quicker and get in and out.
You see Tommy and me all the time. You know, Jimmy's the young buck. Him and Evan are killing it in Flight Zone. So make sure you guys tune in for them. And it's always good to see them. And do a little show with them too. It was good.
Yeah,
Six.
that was fun.
Look at you 3 days in a row down there. I mean, you got 3 days in a row.
I shaved. I can get on camera every day now.
No, it's a ton of fun. Thank you guys all. We're brought to you by FanUp, and FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports. Daily NBA contests. Come challenge me, and you can win great prizes. Sign up today. Use our promo code A2D for 5,000 bonus points, $50 value. FanUp right on the Apple Store. It's been fun. Is Harper a bad teammate? I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow.